Adam Sandler may have made millions playing lovable goofballs, but his personal life has been marked by sadness and tragedy. From being publicly mocked by his former bosses to losing his closest friend, the Billy Madison star knows what it's like to be at his lowest. Adam Sandler landed a spot on Saturday Night Live after proving himself as a writer and appearing in a few movies and television shows. His tenure on the sketch comedy series coincided with one of the show's most beloved eras. Much to the dismay of his fans, however, Sandler and Chris Farley left SNL after the 1994-95 season. At the time, audience were left thinking that the two stars had quit. But in recent years, Sandler has exposed the truth of his exodus from the late-night series. During an appearance on The Howard Stern Show, Sandler admitted,
"The NBC head dude, I know he didn't like our gang, me and Farley."
The actor also recalled how his manager let him down easy about being fired. Sandler revealed to Stern,
"At the time, I was hurt because I didn't know what else I was going to do."
Thankfully, Sandler became a box office sensation and holds no grudges. He even returned to host SNL in 2019, where he made light of being fired with a musical monologue. Fans may look back fondly on Adam Sandler's 5-year run on Saturday Night Live, but the actor holds some deep regrets about his tenure on the show. In an interview with AARP, Sandler reminisced about his SNL days and expressed disappointment with much of his early conduct. He told the outlet, "I used to go nuts. I had a quick temper, quick reactions. I made a lot of dumb mistakes and said a lot of stupid things. Looking back on relationships, I could be an ass. I was selfish. I was competitive with other comedians." The actor also admitted that his aggressive pursuit of fame left him unable to acknowledge the talent of his peers. He added, "I was hungry. I didn't always see clearly then. I wanted to be a big comedian like Eddie Murphy, like Rodney Dangerfield." Thankfully, Sandler has matured a lot since his SNL days and is no longer as competitive as he once was. He told AARP, "I appreciate other people's talent now rather than competing. I'll watch somebody and say, man, they're great. I never would have thought of that joke or that approach." Even though it isn't his first movie, 1995's Billy Madison is often credited as launching Adam Sandler's huge film career.
"Stop looking at me, Swan!"
The movie is about a man-child forced to complete several grade school classes in order to secure his father's estate. It was also the first film Sandler co-wrote with his screenwriting partner, Tim Herlihy. Billy Madison is considered a classic today, but at the time of its release, critics were not on board with Sandler's immature antics and obnoxious energy. Notably, Roger Ebert used the opportunity to focus on the actor's screen presence, comparing him to fingernails on a blackboard. Sadly, Sandler was ill-prepared for the barrage of negative comments, telling Deadline in 2022, "When Billy Madison came out, me and my friend who wrote it read the first review, and we were like, oh my god, what happened? They hate us." And then we were like, it must have been this paper. But then 90% of the papers are going, this is garbage.
I did stop reading them after that.
Since then, Sandler has been pretty hostile towards critics and the media in general. Adam Sandler has developed a notorious reputation for avoiding interviews with the media, and for good reason. The comedian can pinpoint a couple of events early in his career when he was misquoted, which resulted in his distrust for journalists. He told the Harvard Crimson in 2000, "One time I was in a room with a person who kept going on and on about how much he loved the movie. That night, I see him on TV saying, 'This movie is useless.' And I'm like, dude, that's the guy who was nice to me." Another example of how the media has done Sandler wrong came up during a 2023 interview with the Washington Post. In the interview, Sandler recalled a moment in 1995 when he was quoted in TV Guide for saying the writing on SNL was bad. Sandler recalled to the Post, "I go, I never said that. I never would say that. I called the writer. I said, why did you say I said that? And he kind of didn't want to talk to me. I should have taped the conversation." Since then, the actor has spent most of his career avoiding interviews and critics. However, he admitted to AARP that he's still hurt by negative reviews, saying, "Mostly because I invite all these amazing people I care about to make movies with me, and I wish they didn't have to read about whatever we've made." At the height of his film career in 1999, Sandler started Happy Madison Productions. From there, he struck a long-term deal with Sony Pictures, which saw him star in 24 films for the company. However, things didn't end so well between Sandler and Sony. In 2014, Sandler signed a multi-picture deal with Netflix, which essentially put an end to his relationship with Sony. With a boatload of money coming his way from the streaming service, the maneuver seemed like a natural transition. However, news soon came to light that there was far more going on behind the scenes between Sandler and his former distributor. After malicious hackers raided Sony Pictures in 2014, emails featuring Sandler's name surfaced. In discussions between Sony's heads, the comedic powerhouse was described as a self-important jerk whose best days were behind him. The actor has never publicly addressed his falling out with Sony or the emails, but after a long-standing and fruitful relationship, that one had to hurt. Adam Sandler would be the first person to admit that he is not perfect, and throughout his career, the actor has described many of the personal challenges that he has had to overcome. During an interview with the Harvard Crimson in 2000, the comedian admitted that he has an anger problem, saying, "In real life, I do have a bit of that problem, but over the years, I've been getting better, I think." Sandler also said he relates to the loser characters he often depicts on screen. He admitted on the Little Gold Men podcast, "I just have a natural part of my brain that feels like I don't belong here. This feeling uncomfortable and loser stuff I've been doing for years, it's in me." In recent years, Sandler has been proactive in treating his mental health, telling AARP, "I talk to a shrink sometimes. He's given me a plan. Sometimes just holding in a sentence, taking a beat for a minute before saying something stupid. When I do that, I realize it wasn't that important to say it in the first place." With fame comes consequence. For Adam Sandler, that means he spends a lot of time dealing with legal disputes. For instance, Sandler's 2008 film You Don't Mess with the Zohan landed the actor in hot water after cartoonist Robert Cabell claimed that the lead character was plagiarized. The film, which isn't about an Israeli counter-terrorist commando turned hairdresser, did share many similarities with Cabell's cartoon, James Blonde. In Cabell's cartoon, the lead character is a Navy SEALs trained hairstylist who fights crime. In 2013, Sandler and Company was sued again by a carpenter who lost his finger while building sets for That's My Boy. The complaint sought $1 million for gross negligence after Sandler's production company failed to provide the proper safety equipment required for the job. But Sandler's most drawn-out case involved a professional nanny named Deanne McDonald, who he hired to care for his children. McDonald originally settled a dispute with Sandler out of court. The suit involved undisclosed employment claims. However, after breaching a clause in the settlement, McDonald was ordered to repay the actor $80,000. Since he's no longer a young performer, Sandler has felt the signs of aging. The actor started getting concerned about his physical health while filming back-to-back features, Murder Mystery 2, and his upcoming movie, Spaceman. He told Variety, "I was hanging in a harness all the time. I kept saying, 'Something's going on with my hip, man.' I was like, 'Yeah, I definitely gotta x-ray that thing,' and we were in trouble." The actor underwent hip surgery in September 2022 and was understandably in a lot of agony for some time after.
My hip surgery was painful.
Sandler also admitted that the surgery made him feel old. However, when asked about how he felt after surgery, the actor joked to Page Six, "I screamed a lot, then calmed down and ate some food." It has become somewhat of a tradition for Adam Sandler to cast his friends in his productions. After all, Grown Ups and its sequel were essentially conceptualized as an opportunity to spend more time with his buddies. So there is no doubt that camaraderie is a core value to Sandler. Unfortunately, with over 70 film credits to his name, the actor has had to say goodbye to many co-stars throughout the years. Some of the notable friends of Sandler who have passed away include Bob Barker and Cloris Leachman. There are a couple of deaths that hit Sandler harder than others. Norm Macdonald, who shared the stage with Sandler on SNL and had his first movie credit on Billy Madison, passed away in 2021. After Norm's passing, a heartbroken Sandler shared on X, formerly known as Twitter, "Every one of us loved Norm. Some of the hardest laughs of my life with this man. Most fearless, funny, original guy we knew. An incredible dad. A great friend. A legend." Still, the most heartbreaking loss for Sandler was the untimely passing of Chris Farley in 1997. After spending time on SNL together, Farley was one of Sandler's closest confidants.
Ravioli? Holy cannoli!
Sandler still misses his former co-star and memorialized him with a 4-minute tribute song during his hosting appearance on SNL in 2019.
There was something very powerful that night, and it felt great talking about Chris.
There is one thing that Adam Sandler values above all else: family. The actor gives much of the credit for his success to the endless support he received growing up. While accepting the 2023 Mark Twain Prize for American Humor, the comedian said there was one thing that led him to the night.
I come from a great family.
Tragically, Adam Sandler was hit with a significant loss in 2003 when his father, Stanley, passed away. The actor has held much respect for his father throughout his career, even using him as inspiration for his character in 2022's Hustle. He said to ET Canada, "I was just basically doing my dad when he used to coach my teams growing up. His kind of demeanor. It'd push you, but then it'd also say like, 'All right, I see my kid's about to snap, let me pull back a little bit.'"
Understandably, the former SNL star was devastated by the loss of his father, especially after watching his health decline. Sandler told Parade, "I went through stuff with my dad before he died. I saw firsthand what goes on with people who are incredibly sick." The actor still holds a special place in his heart for Stanley Sandler. In a 2020 Facebook post, he wrote, "My dad, the greatest man I ever knew. Love you so, Dad. I know I was a mistake, but I know you had a good time. Thanks for having me and miss you every day."